Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for April 30th of 2025 is titled "A Happy Sky over Bufa Hill in Mexico." So what do we see here? Well, here we see an image taken a couple of days ago with the thin crescent moon down toward the lower left side and the two planets Venus and Saturn up above. And together these three give kind of a little smiley face up in the sky. Now this is an example of what we'd call a conjunction, when astronomical objects are relatively close to one another in the sky. Now they're not super close here, as you can see in this image. So it may be a little different than some of the things that were suggested as to getting that little smiley face out in space. Now the objects will be relatively close to one another and will always pass close to one another because all of the objects in our solar system will travel through the same part of the sky. And those are the constellations of the zodiac, which are the ones around the ecliptic. Now the ecliptic is the path the sun takes over the course of a year. So it will take those, and it will also have the moon and the planets will follow through those same various constellations. And as I said, those are the constellations of the zodiac with which you are likely familiar. Now, every once in a while you can get positioning like this. Certainly the moon will pass by each of the planets at some point during the course of its cycle over a month. And the planets Venus and Saturn could meet every once in a while. They have much longer orbits and much slower orbits. So it can take a lot longer time for them to end up closer together in the sky. But we will get things like conjunctions like this, where the objects will pass relatively close together. And it's just the chance positioning of having Venus and Saturn close to the moon at roughly the same time that gave us this smiley face that appears. Now the crescent moon there would be the waning crescent moon, and we're just a little past new moon as we speak. And the thin crescent moon, that's the left hand side illuminated, visible in the early morning hours right before sunrise. So this would be an image taken before sunrise, sun down below the horizon, with the crescent moon kind of pointing that direction. So the bulge of the moon pointing in roughly the direction that the sun is below the horizon. And then the two planets Venus and Saturn also visible in the early morning hours right now. Now, while the moon will go through its entire cycle within just 1 month, going from the morning sky then into the evening sky and then back to morning again, Venus does the same thing, but on a much slower scale. And in fact, Venus was the evening star at the start of this year and has now passed between us and the sun and is now the morning star and will remain that for the rest of the year, and then eventually in 2026 transition back into the evening sky again. So the moon changes quickly, Venus not quite so fast, and Saturn much slower because of it is her greatest distance away. So that was our picture of the day for April 30th of 2025. It was titled "A Happy Sky over Bufa Hill in Mexico." We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be Mercury's messenger. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.